Hanna joined us in January 2012 and immediately Teach For Malaysia had a different voice in the media. She was able to leverage off her network to identify outstanding support to execute the big challenge of our inaugural Teach For Malaysia week. This is where we had 49 personalities teach across 17 schools in 1 week. As part of a job interview, Hanna once scripted a public service announcement that went along the lines of, "Do you remember flying across Neverland with Peter Pan or stepping into adventures with the famous five? Reading opens up new worlds to us, and 1 out of 4 10-year-olds cannot access this due to their literacy status. Apply to be a fellow at Teach For Malaysia to be the difference." I got goosebumps immediately.
My name is Hanna Alkaf. I'm the Communications Manager for Teach For Malaysia. I was born in Kuala Lumpur in 1985. My parents are Muhammad Alkaf and Laila Tobadria, and I'm the last of 4 siblings. I grew up in Ampang Jaya on Jalan 4F, and it was, looking back, it was an idyllic childhood. All the kids would come out in the evenings and play together. We'd play football, we'd ride our bicycles, we'd go down to the playground together. And we were in and out of each other's houses and each other's backyards all the time. Until, our parents would have to call us in for Maghrib prayers because the sun was setting. Oh, this is terrible to admit as someone who works for an education NGO. But when I was in primary school, I was very lazy. I did not want to do homework. I didn't particularly see the point of doing homework. And it got to a point where my father, who's never raised a hand to me in my life, my father actually sat down with me and said, "What do you want me to do with you? Do you want me to rotan you?" And there was a lot of anger in his tone, but you only had to listen properly to hear the undertones of disappointment and hurt and just despair. And that still, if you see me right now, I'm tearing up a little bit because that still affects me. I still work very hard because I don't want to disappoint the people I love. Job is a challenging one. It's a challenge that I relish. I have to preface everything I say by saying that it's a challenge that I relish. But it is challenging because we are such a new organization still. So I'm working on building a brand and finding us a voice that will help us relate, that will help people relate to us, and also help us become instantly recognizable. I want people to hear the name Teach For Malaysia and understand exactly what we're about and what we stand for. And so that's what I'm working towards, building up the processes and procedures and the stories and the voice that we need to build that image. Okay, as to how I overcome those obstacles, I don't pretend to be any sort of superwoman. What I've discovered about myself is that in order to process all the thoughts in my head, I need to be able to bounce ideas and just to talk it out. There's something about hearing things spoken out loud to me that helps me really see them properly for what they are. And I'm fortunate to have family and friends and a fiance who will let me do that. Just sit there and rant until I get to the point where I need to be. So that's how I overcome them. As to how I find the passion to keep doing it day by day, I came to Teach For Malaysia because I have nieces and nephews. And it breaks my heart to think that but for a matter of opportunity and circumstance, they could be the ones who can't find their place in life, who don't see a path for themselves or don't see a point to working towards a certain ambition or a certain future. It breaks my heart to think that there are kids out there who have this kind of mindset. And so for me, I do what I do because I have conviction that what we're doing is the right thing for the country and what we're doing is the necessary thing for the country. I really value the close relationships I have with friends, with family, and with my fiancé, as I mentioned. I can't function without those close relationships, and I do everything I can to make sure that I maintain them. Being around these people makes me happy. And from a professional standpoint, I guess like a work standpoint, seeing a fellow in a classroom, really interacting with students and knowing that they're making that difference and seeing it for myself, that goes a long, long way into helping you just get out of bed and get to work every morning. No matter what the challenges I face are, the challenges that the fellows face just each day, that's inspirational to me. Strength is positivity in the face of overwhelming odds. It's perseverance in the face of obstacles. And it's resilience in the face of setbacks. I am grateful. I'm confident. I'm determined. I'm creative.